Era. Isuzu Motors signed a multi-year deal with the franchise, the first time that the team will have a long-term sponsor. They also announced that they're set to become the country's first black-owned franchise, with a consortium of 5 business people awaiting approval from SARU's Exco to finalise the 51% stake they plan on buying in the Kings. Chairman of the consortium, known as the Greatest Rugby Company, Pty Limited, Loyiso Dotwana, joins us from our Port Elizabeth studio. A very good morning to you, Mr. Dotwana, and welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, ma'am, and good morning to your viewers.
How far is the deal? When are you actually expecting that final word from SARU?
We expect a final word from SARU by next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, it should all be finalized. And just tell us a little bit more about the motivation of yourself and the other business people in the consortium, Gary Markson, Rory Steer, Vuyo Zutumane and Kenny Govender, that actually make up this consortium wanting to buy the 51% stake. What was the big motivation to actually buy this controlling stake in Southern Kings?
I think, first of all, it's being driven by our love for rugby. That's been our primary motivation. Secondly, it's being driven by passion to retain our young rugby talent from all the strong rugby playing schools within our region. So those were primarily the 2 motivating factors for us to get involved in this project.
What is the feeling among the business people in the consortium and for yourself about the fact that you will be making history as the first black-owned franchise in the country? When it comes to rugby, that is.
I don't think we are actually sentimental about it. But primarily, we also are rooted in our community, and we just want to see what we can do to help to take the game of rugby in this region forward. I mean, this region has a rich history of black rugby, and that's what we want to revive and grow.
It's long been accepted that the Eastern Cape is the nursery for black rugby when it comes to the sport in the country. Why does this make business sense? Because rugby is still trying to shake off that perception that it's a sport for only a minority group in South Africa.
I think, Melinda, I don't think we are doing this thing from a profit motive. We just want to have a rugby franchise in this region that, first of all, can attract and retain our local talent, and 2, can remain commercially viable and sustainable going forward.
There's been so much...
Some people have said we're crazy because if you...
sorry, Mr. Dotwana, please continue.
I think some people saying we are crazy because if you look at all the other franchises in South Africa, they're battling to remain financially viable.
So it's all about the local passion, and that's something that I want to touch on. You know, the attendance at the opening rugby championship match in Durban, it surprised me. And I think when it comes to live sports in South Africa, attendance at stadiums is a huge talking point and a headache for many team owners and those that are actually controlling different franchises. What's the idea to ensure that the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium is full when the Kings play?
First of all, obviously, we're going to go through quite a number of initiatives revolving around marketing, revolving around advertising, and getting our local schools involved. I mean, we have definitive ideas where we plan to play some of the big school derbies at the stadium as curtain raisers before the Kings play. We want to bring a lot of vibe. We want to bring a lot of the kids to come and watch some of the great players that are playing in Pro 14. I mean, if you look at some of the great players in Europe, they are actually playing in Pro 14. So we're going to be creating that excitement. And because this area knows it's rugby, so we believe that the fans will come back and watch the Southern Kings play at the stadium.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dotwana. Loyisa Dotwana is the chairman of the consortium of business people that are in the process of buying a controlling stake in the Southern Kings. Thank you so much for your time on Morning Live. I know we promised you your trivia in this hour. We'll do it in the next hour because we're into headline news time. Leanne standing by.